roots of history run deep through Stafford, Virginia. We've raised leaders, featured artists, and honored those heroes among us. We've learned from the battles fought, and we look to the future with hope. We take this time to focus on what makes us exceptional, while constantly remembering where we came from. We're always open to fresh ideas and innovation, and savor all of the flavor at our fingertips. We find inspiration in our craftsmanship, and there's always a hidden gem around every corner. Find yours. Rediscover Stafford.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Thursday to you. One more day to the weekend. KFL is back at you. KFL tonight, and it is playoff time. It is happening, and man, what a regular season! I can't believe it's over. And man, what a year it's been. But 6 teams remain, and that's the whole thing. Is you got to fight for the playoffs. I mean, everybody wants to get to the playoffs, so we're excited to be able to present the playoffs here in the next 2 weeks, starting September 4th. That will be the wild card game. And then let's just go over. I'll tell you what, let's just do it. Let's just go over the playoffs real quick that you can see. Massachusetts Maulers is going to be hosting Motor City Ambassadors. Made it to the playoffs. And then that winner will take on the Rhode Island Rebels, who have earned the right to have the playoffs go through Rhode Island. And they just win and in. They're in the championship, but Motor City Ambassadors and Massachusetts Maulers have something to say about that. So that's in the KFL North, and then the KFL South. The Lone Star Bandits, the undefeated Lone Star Bandits, held true, and they are hosting the playoff game there. And their opponents will either be Alabama Hammers and the Tar Heel Lunkers. And on September 4th, Tar Heel Lunkers will have a game at Neely Henry in Alabama, and those winners will move on to Texas. So it's really fun and exciting to see this, man. I love playoff football, playoff baseball, playoff. Hockey is the best, by the way, playoff hockey. But there's something different about the playoff season. And so here we are at the KFL. We're in the playoff season. And so we're excited to see what happens and how this all shakes out. The championship will be held September 18th at Lake Chickamauga in Dayton, Tennessee. So looking forward to all that. We are going to get one of the playoff teams that made it in, and you know them well, and they are here, the Motor City Ambassadors. Here they are, my boys. What's going on?
How you doing, Greg?
Gentlemen,
what's up, Greg?
How's it going?
Hey, guys.
Pretty
Not
good.
too bad.
Enjoying a night of football.
Oh, you're out there with some kids?
Well, yeah, my nephews are playing, so you're
Very
going to
cool.
hear it in the background a little bit. It's too
Very
much
nice, man. Thursday night lights, right? But
Absolutely.
gentlemen, congratulations, first of all, for making it to the playoffs, guys. I know you guys wanted to be hosting and not traveling, but here you are. You know what I mean? But you're in. So the key is getting in. But guys, let's talk about it from the very beginning. Let's talk about how the team was established, who your team is, and then what your experience was through the season, and then what you guys are going to be doing through the playoffs, man. So let's start with you, buddy. Let's start with you about the team and how it gets started.
So, we were Greg early before KFL was even really hatched that you had this harebrained idea, and you know what? I couldn't be more happy with it, more happy with how everything was put together. I went through it. Last year being my first year in the competitive realm of kayak fishing, I knew some of these guys, some of them I didn't know, but I did a lot of research. all of these guys I asked once, and they're like, "Yes, no doubt, let's go." And that kind of bleeds through to today. I mean, all these guys have put in everything they could absolutely even put into this team, and we're still here. We made our first goal, making the playoffs, and now each goal is one game at a time. And I'm so proud to be here with these guys and the sponsors we have. Mainstream helped us out big time this year, and we picked up another sponsor specifically for this game, Shipwreck Tours. Both of them stepped up big time for the playoffs, and they are helping us out immensely as far as our travels, which we have a lot of that in front of us. So,
Yeah.
and I'll open it up to the other guys on the floor from here.
I want to get with Jeff. Sorry, I had to meet you there, buddy. But Jeff,
Oh, I know that. I understand.
it's okay, man. Jeff, let's talk about, man, you're very well known. You've been doing this a long time, man. You're one of the OGs of kayak fishing, man. One of the originals. And it's all been in individual events, man. I'm sure you've had some dealings with the team events, but when Matt approached you to be on the team, man, what was your expectations? And what did you foresee this league to be? And then what do you think after it's all said and done?
Well, I mean, he had me sold at team. I had one experience just prior, and the tail end of the 2020 season, I had an experience where we sort of did this team thing, and I absolutely loved it. So shortly after, I get a phone call and asked to be on this league, and I really didn't know much about it, didn't hear much about it, and he just mentioned what it was as being team format, and I said yes. That's all he had to say was team, and I was like, I'm in. It's just something about being able to really just brainstorm, bounce ideas off people, work together to break down waters. It's just a lot of fun. And it's just as simple as, this is how I rig. What about you? Have you tried this? Have you done that? So you learn, you teach, it's so much fun. And then, obviously you have people to, hang out with and just be all around while these events are going on. So it's surpassed my expectations in that sense. But I just know right off the bat, I was super excited to come into this team format, and I couldn't be happier. I'm glad I made that decision. I'm glad to be a part of it. Again, like Greg said, I'm super proud of everybody on the team, everybody's efforts. It's been a really good time.
Well, Jeff, I mean, you excelled in this, man, and I'm going to show everybody this real quick. This is the top 50 points in the KFL through the season, and Jeff, you sat fourth of some pretty big hammers, but you finished fourth in the KFL in total points at 404.25. A top 5 finish for you, my friend. And it's no wonder that your team is there, man. And I have to give you congratulations because, I mean, look, if you look at the guys that are on this list in the top 10, majority of these guys are in the playoffs. And you need that guy to carry the team. And, Jeff, you've done a wonderful job with Motor City amongst your teammates as well. And, dude, congratulations on a awesome, awesome season.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
George, let's talk to you, man. You as well, man. You're very well known individually. Team event happens, man. We put the KFL together. You were the only one who caught a fish in West Virginia that was scoreable. And then you went up to Indianapolis, man. Had a great time. It looked like you guys are having an absolute blast, man. Talk about your experience, buddy.
Oh, we absolutely did, and it was. I heard of the team from Zach. Actually, approached me first and about my interest, and it was a hard yes right from the get-go. It was no question. He said, "Hey, I'm going to be on the KFL team. Matt Lindsam in, and we're looking at Jeff Fader." And he mentioned a couple other names, and I said, "I'm in, 100%." And it wasn't the first person that was asked, but I definitely said yes on the first go. And one testament I'll give, I was looking at the commitment in the schedule that was going to be required for us. And I'm just going to tell this story because it's absolutely true. Earlier in the season, I looked at the schedule and I said, guys, I'm only going to make 2 events. Like my work schedule the way it was, and I didn't think I'd be able to do anything with the playoffs, and I couldn't commit to anything. It was out of vacation time. It wasn't going to happen. So I resigned from the team. I sent in a resignation letter and said, hey guys, thanks for the opportunity. This could be better suited for someone else, and I appreciate everything that it is. I know that you guys are going to kick butt, and it's going to be amazing. And they just turned around and said, no.
He denied your resignation.
They wouldn't.
Can't get rid of us that quick.
You're not quitting. So,
oh, that's awesome.
You know, like if that right there doesn't talk about the camaraderie of the team and their willingness.
That's amazing. I didn't know that story.
Who you are and finding the right people and the right. This group of people gel really, really well. We get along exceptionally well. Everybody knows what they're doing. You know, I kind of feel like I have to fake it till I make it to a certain extent because of the quality of angler that's here. But without a doubt, fishing skill is there, but it's the camaraderie, it's the personalities, and that's what makes this team work as well as it does. And it's a special thing, and I think it comes through in the way that we interact with each other. Us goofing off and playing pitch and putt on a putt course at the campground last week, and all sorts of stuff. Like I enjoy hanging out with us, and it's been fun to hang out with some of the other teams as well. And that, I think that showcases who we are and what we want this to be. And this is how we envision this league. And this is what we want it to be. And we're just doing our best to make it something that's worthwhile, worth sharing, and worth growing.
It's been so much fun hanging out with you guys. I think everybody who has come in contact with you guys and has either played with you or played against you, man, has all said the same thing. This bunch is a fun bunch to have. And the camaraderie has been absolutely amazing. I know we've done it twice. Indianapolis has done it twice, and it's in West Virginia. They all say the same thing. It's been, you guys have been just a really fun bunch, and the Massachusetts guys are going to experience that as well when you guys get up there, and what a great crew that this team is.
The
Zach,
Massachusetts team, to talk about them just for a quick second,
sure.
Like to Brundle and the guys on his team, they're class acts. They are not your, to talk about a slightly crude. This is my turn here. To talk about a slightly crude term, they are not assholes. They are absolutely welcoming and fantastic people that set the standard for who you are and who you want to be. And they're welcoming us with regard to some property and where we can stay and how we're going to stay there. And I couldn't be more proud to be part of the team and this event that's coming up.
Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, that's what it's about. I mean, look, we're here to rip each other's head off on the water, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's we want you to get there, be hospitable, make yourself comfortable, and then we'll kill you on the water. What I mean? And then hopefully you go back home. But that's what it's about, man. But you know what? That's kayak fishing in general, man. That's been like kayak fishing since day one. I mean, it's still grassroots type sport, man. Everybody cares for one another. I bet you if anybody was in dire trouble or whatever, no matter what team or opposition you're on, we're dropping everything to help you guys out no matter what happens, man. And I think that's been proven back so many different times. Zach,
100%,
man,
couldn't agree more.
Zach, my brother, look, man, you've played college hockey. You've been in part of this a team atmosphere. You've traveled. You've done everything, man. Mm-hmm. How does this compare to your experiences on an actual college team or whatever? I mean, did it meet your expectation? Just a little bit.
I would say it exceeded. I've had, like I said, hockey my whole life, 2 experiences with the fishing team style, one at the national championship and one at the Crossroads event. And both of those are, you're getting together with a team for a couple of days. It's not a season-long commitment, where this has just been, learning from each other every week, on the water and off the water. When you relate it to other sports, everybody wants to be the best on the team in a lot of other sports. Where here, we want everybody to be the best on the team.
Absolutely.
Like we want the other guy to go out and catch 10 fish if we're struggling. When you look at it in a sports like ice hockey or basketball or that kind of standpoint, if you're not one of the first 3 stars of the game, nobody knows your name. So you're out there trying to outdo everybody else, even though it is a team sport. Where here, like I said, you want to, George goes out and catches only fish. Me and George celebrated like that fish was a world record fish.
Right.
And
right.
and even like last event, even though we didn't beat Indianapolis, everybody still gave the effort. We had fun doing it. And that's really what it's all about, is everybody being the best for the other part of your team.
You guys are a very well-rounded team, like you were saying, Zach. I mean, you had a really good event versus us, at St. Clair. Jeff, obviously, you carried the team, helped carry the team over when the first West Virginia team came, and then also, if I remember correctly, Indianapolis. George, obviously, you did very well at West Virginia. As well as you could, considering the circumstances. You know what I mean? But you got, and then Eric Polens, and then Matt.
It's all relative, man.
It is. And then Matt Linsman here started off very. I mean, he did a very good job here at the Potomac River. Helped carry your team to victory here. Well, I mean, like, I could pick up every game and tell you guys, what I've seen is everybody contributed in an even fashion. And you guys, again, like communication. You guys celebrate one another. And it's just a really cool to watch you guys from the outside in. It's just like, it's really cool to see you guys on how you guys do communicate. And again, I mean, I know you didn't, you didn't host home field advantage through playoffs. I don't care. You're still there. You're there for a reason. But man, I mean, the way you guys gelled as a team is just super impressive, man. It really is. It's a lot of fun to see.
Well, the team aspect carries over into the travel as well. Going out to Massachusetts and Rhode Island on back-to-back weeks, that takes a toll on anyone. And I think just watching some of the stuff we've discussed as a group and as a team, it showcases just more of the same. Like, we're all there for each other as much as a family member would be for anyone else. And that speaks volumes, and it's something that I'm treasuring, and something that makes me look forward to next year and want to set, I think we all agree that we want to set the standard for what a KFL team is, and I hope we're living up to that.
What's going on here?
There we go.
Do I need to say more?
Yeah, no.
I'm good with words. I've got lots of them.
the internet trolls have it. Well, I agree with you, man. So let's talk about Massachusetts, okay? Long travel, your away game. You know who these guys are. You're going to be going in their backyard, man. Let's talk about the game itself. What's the plan? I mean, without getting too much into the juice, what's y'all's mindset going into this game?
You know what?
We're bringing it. That's simple. I mean, we're all excited and committed. We're taking off midweek, and we're going to get down there as quick as possible, kind of riding together. And we're committing. We're going to be able to put in the time on the water and really do the best that we can. And, we're coming to win for sure.
Yeah. Do you guys know what lake you guys are going to be fishing?
I've been talking to Derek, not as of yet. I should know here tonight or tomorrow.
Yep.
He did the bodies of water that we may be fishing.
Okay.
So hopefully he'll announce that tonight if he jumps on.
Yeah.
But just like Jeff said, we're ready to get to work, man. That's what we did.
we let our momentum slip through. So we got some points to prove and some ground to make up, we feel, and we're completely committed as a team. We've hashed it out, the schedule and the team and the members, and we're in it. We're scheduled out for 3 weeks, if that says anything.
That's what you're supposed to do. Guys, what would it mean to become KFL inaugural champions to you guys?
Oh, be incredible. Because it would just be the pinnacle of what we, as George stated, we wanted to sort of set an example for a KFL team. That literally was in one of the first conversations we had as a team, was about integrity and just building integrity and being responsible as a team and an example as a team, and to be able to bring it all home. I mean, come on, that would just be, that would just be the icing. That would just be the exclamation point and top everything off of what we really put out and set out to do this year. So
One thing I love about your team too, man, is you guys took the KFL formulated franchise model and brought it to life immediately. Getting your sponsors, getting the jerseys, getting everything ready. I mean, I'm like, you guys were ready, set, go from the very beginning. And I think a lot of teams who are interested in coming into the KFL, I mean, they need to talk to you guys. You guys need to consult those teams on what to do, because I'll be honest with you, from start to finish, I think you guys have done a fantastic job.
I mean, it
really
has. It definitely hasn't been.
Support.
It hasn't been without. It hasn't been without the trials and tribulation kind of things. I mean, I think the hardest part about the whole thing was coming up with a team name. I think we spent most of our time on that, and then after that, we were pretty much burnt out on arguing with each other.
Got it all of our system.
But yeah, I mean, I think the whole reason we came up with this team name was, obviously the Ambassador Bridge is something that's big to Michigan, but we also wanted to be the ambassadors to this sport, and that was kind of the play on this word of, we're not just being. Our logo isn't just a bridge. Our logo is what we wanted to represent in this league.
Yeah. Well, you guys have been pure class, man. And, as I said, anybody who has faced you or has been with you, it's been 100% class. And, congratulations on making it to the playoffs, man. And, you guys have fans. I mean, look, those you guys don't have anybody to root for. I mean, this is a good team to root for. I mean, just because, number one, they're having to travel 13 hours to go play, you know what I mean? To go play Massachusetts. And, they have been just a class act through this. But, guys, I want to wish you guys the best of luck. Come versus Massachusetts, man. We can't wait to watch you guys and see what happens. But, all in all, you guys are going to have a great time regardless, win or lose. But, don't come home without the trophy, man.
Yeah, we're gonna give it our all. But huge shout out to the support that we get from our sponsors that are helping us out with these trips and these travels. They've really stepped up above and beyond this year, even exceeding, I think, what was expected even in the beginning of the season. And it just goes to show, the support that we've built throughout the year is also reciprocated into the sponsorship that we picked up. And we can't thank enough, Mainstream Tackle and Shipwreck Tours. I mean, we can't thank these people enough. And the support just keeps coming. And everybody else in the league rooting us on. Hey, we're going to go give it an all, and we're going to bring it home.
Well, another thing too, which is great about you guys showcased your home water so well. I mean, between Kent Lake, Fletcher's Pond, and St. Clair, they all have shown up, and they all did their job.
Real quick, Greg, we talked about that because, we've got these point spreads and stuff, and ours has suffered greatly. But we don't take pride in having huge gap wins and things like that, because we pride ourselves on putting people on quality water, and you have a great chance to beat us. And it just showcases skill levels. It showcases Michigan waters. I mean, we're blessed up here with the amount of water that we have. And, that's, again, one of the things we wanted to set an example on in the beginning. We're not going to be trickery water and something that you're completely uncomfortable fishing. So I think that point spread will sometimes showcase that too. So
there's no doubt about it. And Massachusetts is the same thing. I mean, they are in the same situation as you guys. So I mean, I kind of hold you guys both kind of the same kind of format, and the team concept, team culture. You guys are very, very similar. So this is going to be a very, really cool matchup to see.
So
looking forward to it.
Actually, one huge shout out, everybody. Haven't mentioned yet our wives, or families, or kids, or everybody that supports us on that side.
Yeah,
I mean, we can't do it without you guys.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'll digress just real short.
Sure, Jeff.
My daughter's been living abroad for several years now. She gets home back here where we're from on Tuesday, and that is the day I leave for Massachusetts. I haven't seen my daughter in 8 months, but she's been living abroad for much longer than that. And I actually was considering not doing the event and staying here to see her. And she turned something around on me when I was raising my 2 children. And I says, you sign up for a team sport, you can't quit regardless whether you don't like it or not. You see it to the end. And my daughter turned right around and said that to me. And all I could say was, touche. I guess I have to go.
Very mature.
I can't
That's
turn
a
my
great
back
story,
now.
Jeff. That's a great story, man.
So I'm going the day she gets here. It could be
brutal.
gone for 3 weeks. And that's the 3 weeks that she'll be in town. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, guys, I want to say something. Matt, you're on here, man. You're a veteran. I want to say something before we move on. We are, listen, deeply, deeply in prayer for our nation, and we just grieve over what happened over in Afghanistan. Matt, I want to tell you and all the veterans out there who are watching, thank you for your service. Even the current people that are serving our country, may God protect you. Man, we are full support of what you're doing. Thank you for what you do, because we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing, traveling across the country with freedom to do what we love to do if it wasn't for you. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts, all the military out there. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thanks, Greg.
Jeff is also Army veteran.
Jeff as well, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, boys, thank you guys for coming on. Go get them, man.
We're gonna.
Appreciate it.
Take care, y'all.
See you guys.
Motor City Ambassadors. Great. I mean, look, again, great guys. Thank you for what you guys do and the way you guys are. Man, just a cool, fun bunch, man. I encourage you. Listen, give them a call. If you plan on going to Michigan, give some of these guys a call and just go fish their waters. It's just phenomenal. Well, another team we're going to get on here. A little bit of a surprise team for sure that came on really late towards the end of the deadline to get teams in. And here they are. They are in the playoffs. I've got Matt Ortenzi from the Tar Heel Lunkers, man, that got into the playoffs by a 3-team tiebreaker, but they're here. Matt, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. Can you hear me good?
I sure can. Yes, sir, man.
Man, where the crap is everybody else? Oh, man, let me hang it.
They're going to let you take care of this business, man.
Oh,
Matt
man.
Luxon, man. Let's take you back to the beginning of the year, man. Let's take you back in the very beginning of your team formation. And like we talked about with these guys, you know, everybody who started this year was on a complete whim. No one had any idea what to expect. No one had any idea what they were getting themselves into. But my friend, you took the concept, and within 2 days, you literally had a team done, sponsors, a logo, and here you are. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. You know, hats off to the team. I mean, they really, you know, carried me throughout the entire thing. I mean, when I came up with the idea of putting the team together and everything, I started reaching out to everybody. I had a lot of, you know, open space. I didn't have a lot of stuff going on with work and life and everything else. And then, you know, life, you know, played this own little happy game with this, and I got slammed. So, you know, it's just been really busy. I have not been on the water for about, you know, a few weeks, almost a couple months. And they've been able to, you know, just carry the team. So I'm greatly appreciative of all of them, their families, and just for them just carrying us and getting us to this point where we're going into the playoffs. So, and I'll actually get to fish. So I'm pretty excited right now.
Oh, you're going into the playoffs, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna
saving the fine wine for the playoffs.
I don't know. You got some really good guys on, you know, not just, you know, good fishermen, but just great guys, just all across the board. So.
Well, again, look, I mean, we should talk about that with Motor City Ambassadors, just like you guys, man, you know, like yourself, Matt Dunn, Dontrell. I mean, you guys have been fantastic. Jeremy, you know, you guys have been more than willing to come on and share your stories and share your fishing like Dontrell is now, man. My goodness, we get bonus fishing coverage right now, man, you know, but do you guys have your lineup?
We do. So it's going to be Jeremy Hicks, Dontrell, and myself heading down there.
Okay.
So we one short. It's just schedules are just not lining up. But
I got you.
It is what it is. We're going to show up. We're going to fish. Most of all, we're going to have fun and just, you know, enjoy our time out there on the water that day.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. So, I mean, you guys are going against the Alabama Hammers, and they have held true to their name. I mean, they have been a bunch of hammers, and we showed a graphic on basically the top of the. Let me see here if I got it. The top of the. Let's see here. Well, it's not going to show, but the top of the charts for the Alabama Hammers was indeed Coley McGowan, and the guy just absolutely tore it up this season. And he's fishing on his home waters, which he's done very well on, man. So it's going to be a little bit tough to beat these guys, but I'm sure you guys are just biting at the bit. At least you guys get to, have a chance to compete and finish this thing out, man. It's going to be an upset. There's no doubt about it. 3-4, especially against Coley on his waters and the boys. But look, man, let the fish do the talking.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've never been down that way. I've never been in Alabama, so this is going to be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it. I've been researching the lake for the last couple of days and then looking at YouTube stuff. There's some pretty big fish that come out of that lake, and just looking forward to it. I mean, it's something new, something different. I've never thought I would ever be fishing down in Alabama, so
right.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Dontrell, let's get to you, man. You have been instrumental in the Tar Heel Lunker season. You come up here. I think you went to, did you not come to, I think you went to Chicken Hominy, right? And then you guys took that victory up here at Norfolk.
Yeah.
That was huge for you guys. I don't know if you guys knew it at the time, but that was a gigantic win for you.
It was. We knew we had to do that. After that home loss against the Hammers, we knew we had to steal one from home from somebody else throughout the rest of the season. So we were fortunate enough to get that one, and we just knew head going in that was one we needed.
Guys, we were talking about your expectations going into this, man. I mean, I'm sure you guys understand the whole playoff concept and everything else, but let's talk about how this is all shaken out, man. I mean, compare it to the formats you guys recognize and know, but I mean, has this been not fun? I mean, has this not been, the way it's supposed to be? I think it has, man. I think it's been a blast.
I really enjoyed it. And the reason I enjoyed it, because I would have never really, reached out to Greg, would have never reached out, wouldn't even had that conversation with you like I'm having right now with Dontrell, the rest of the team. It's opened those doors where we're just talking fishing, guys talking fishing, just getting to know each other, having a great time, and just getting to know them, knowing new different concept, what works, and just coming together, attacking the lakes and stuff. But it's across the board. I mean, we're friends with the casters and stuff, talking to them. That's awesome. And the other teams, just the way the community, comes together and talks fishing, and that's awesome. I miss that stuff, and I appreciate you recognize the military veterans before I came on.
Yes, sir.
I missed that piece a lot. So being retired, I missed that piece, and this has kind of helped a little bit, having that little small group and being able to just chit chat with everybody, man. It's really helped a lot this year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I like you're talking about, the camaraderie is second to none, man. It's been phenomenal. And I want to talk about a guy that's on your team that I think is probably the nicest guy I've ever seen him. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, good on Matt.
Matt Dunn, man. I mean, that guy is. I mean, he's a heck of a fisherman, but man, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, man. I mean, let's talk about Matt in this season. He's had a really good season too.
Matt's just amazing. Matt was the very first person I reached out to on the team. We'd had small conversations in the past. He was the number one person I reached out to because he's one of the well-known names here in North Carolina as far as catching fish and stuff like that. And I told him in the very beginning, I said, man, people are gonna recognize who you are real quick because you're really good. And that's not to say anybody else on this team is, because Dontrell's a great fisherman, Jeremy's a great fisherman, Justin, everybody across the board, everybody's really good. But Matt is just, his niceness just gets you there. That dude is just really nice.
Yeah,
really great guy.
He's too nice, man. You know what I mean? And what gets me is like, he'll beat the tar off you all in the water, man. But then you can't get upset about it because he's he's such a great guy, man. Yeah. But I mean, look, man. As I said, this team, Matt. Talk about how this team got together so quick. I mean, that is I mean, guys are spending almost a year to get ready for this, but you guys were able to do this in days. I mean, how did that all come about?
So I don't say a hidden thing. So I'm a Shriner. So I'm not just a Shriner, I'm a Shriner clown on top of that.
Okay.
So I had a lot of friends. I had a bunch of businesses and stuff like that. I brought them the concept. I brought them my dream. I want to put together a state team. I need people to pretty much support us. And I had a lot of brothers come up, and they decided they were going to support us. And I had funding before I had the team. And
unbelievable.
Yeah, so I had funding within a matter of probably a day. And
wow.
I was just telling them, let me get the team together first. And we started getting a hold of the team. I've seen who the casters had, who they didn't have, who I knew was still good, really good fishermen. Reached out to them. I actually had a couple of guys say no, they were, their schedule was too busy. So we went back out and got some more people.
Yeah.
And then as you notice, I knew my schedule was starting to get kind of stacked in June and July with parades and everything else, with the clowns and stuff. So I moved myself to the bench just because I didn't want to take up a spot. So I opened that spot up to Steve Perry so he could fish. And I didn't take away from those two spots. That way I could fish those two.
Right.
So I started reaching out to everybody, having a conversation, just planting the seed. Here's the vision. Let's just go out and have fun, see what happens. And Lord behold, it just caught. I mean, people started clicking. We started talking and going from there. I mean, it's really on to the team really putting this thing together, because without them, we wouldn't have a team. I mean, they really brought everything together.
One thing I saw too with your team too, you guys have a lot of fans. I mean, we've seen a lot of fan interaction with your team too. It's been really cool. I follow you guys on social media. Dontrell, you're a social media wizard, man. I need to have some lessons from you, my friend. But you guys have a great fan base, man, and you guys helped the KFL from that social media aspect and really helped us put on the map. And I just want to say thank you guys for that. Dontrell, yourself, man, I want to thank you guys for, all the love and support you guys have given us throughout this, man, because, I mean, if it wasn't for the anglers, we have nothing, you know what I mean? And, all we can give you is a platform, and, man, you guys have taken it and ran with it. It's been really, really cool to work with you guys.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you, for putting this on, the other teams involved, all the anglers, everybody. It's been a great team effort the entire year.
No doubt. Dontrell, I'm going to end with you, my friend. Throughout the season, you've played, I think, in about 3 or 4 games, if I'm not mistaken, man. Have you guys, what's your concept going into it? Do you guys have like this, let's just go team versus team and see what happens? Or do you guys kind of look at head-to-head matchups and say, look, if I beat this guy, then we can win? I mean, do you guys kind of pin it down individually, or you guys kind of look at it as an overall team match?
No, just definitely an overall team match. I mean, we don't even look to see or try to figure out who may be starting for the other team.
Mm-hmm.
We're mostly just focused on breaking down the lake and trying to figure out, what you're comfortable with, what do you think you're going to do, and that type of thing. And, even like a week before, our matchups, all of us, the whole team, all 7 of us, or 8 of us, we're all in a big group chat. But then once we figure out who our starters are, we'll break off and we'll start a group chat with just these 4 guys. And that way we can talk, without bothering everybody else that's not, involved that week.
Yeah.
And so, we're going, back and forth for a week and talking and, trying to figure things out and how we're going to do things and get a plan together, that week leading up to it.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's pretty much how it's been week in and week out.
No doubt. I have to ask you a question, though. Last game of the season against Norfolk, talk about the team when you guys are before the game and then after the game. Talk about it. I mean, we didn't really get a true reaction until, it was all, until hours later. But, knowing the fact this was a win and end deal and you guys sealed the deal, what was that like?
It was awesome. I think this was I think it's the first time I actually sat and watched from the sidelines, from the first time this season. Because I had some personal stuff going on that weekend. Sure. But I was following all day. And halfway through it, I think like 1 o'clock, I didn't even realize they had started late, or they had modified the times.
The time.
So 1 o'clock, I'm sending out congratulations, good job, guys, all this other stuff. And Matt's like, yeah, we're fishing till 3. I was like, all right, well, keep going.
Good job, guys. That's great,
it's
man.
fun, especially watching, fishing chaos, and just watching, things of the update, and you
Yeah.
do something, you check back in 15 minutes later. Oh, somebody just scored another fish, and you're checking to see who that was. All right, nice, and just going back and forth, and it's nice. It's fun.
I have to give Fishing Chaos a lot of credit, man. I mean, because they kind of built this team platform, for us like that, man. It just shows very well. The keeping up the scores and the overall boards and everything else. It just shows very, very well. You know what I mean? So I appreciate the work that they did for us for sure.
I think the one thing to highlight in the Fishing Chaos is you can see it to the end. You can see the standings to the very, very last minute.
Yes.
And I think that's pretty cool.
Yes, exactly. And it automatically updates. You don't have to refresh or anything. It just pops in there. And it's been great. Well, guys, we wish you the best of luck to Alabama, Matt. I promise you will enjoy Alabama, man. The barbecue is fantastic.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be great, man. And, hey, look, man, just give them hell. You know what I mean? You just see what you guys do. I mean, look, anybody can get beaten on any certain day, man. So you never know, man. Let the fish do the talking for you. But, guys, both of you, Dontrell, safe travels, my friends. Looking forward to seeing this matchup come next Saturday, September 4th. We'll see what happens.
Awesome. All
right, guys,
thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on. That was the Tar Heel Lunkers. And, man, they are going to have a tough matchup against Alabama. No, there's no doubt about it. But who is not going to be having a tough matchup next Saturday is sitting in the queue because they won the South. And this is the only undefeated team in the KFL. And this is the Lone Star Bandits. It's Jason Campbell and Jim Louvier. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Jason, you're muted, my friend. There we go.
How are you?
Gentlemen, congratulations. Undefeated, man. I mean, going into this season, man, what an accomplishment, man, because one of the hardest things to do with this league is to win on the road. And you guys just didn't win, but you guys won convincingly. You guys seem to figure their lakes out. It's super, super impressive. And I just want to say congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about, well, I'll tell you what, Jim, let me start with you. I'm going to share the screen. You two, my friend, had an amazing year. And let me see if I can bring it up here. Let's see. Hopefully I can get it. All right, there we go. Let's see here. I will get it. I promise you guys. But Jim, you had an amazing year. Here we go. You finished third in points this year with a whopping 501.25 points, man. You were on like an absolute tear. I think your first game is it not at Arkansas? And didn't you have like all the team's points?
Yeah, I had equal to the team's points. That's correct. As a matter of fact, I was kind of hoping that you had added to that a column that showed points per game. Because I don't know if you realize it, but myself, Brian Howe, and Jason scored those points in only 3 games.
That is incredible.
All
Absolutely incredible. And let me try to bring this up again, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, let's see here. You've got yourself, Brian, and Jeff in the top 12.
Yep, and Jason's right up there.
Yes, correct. That is incredible. Yeah, and Jason, you're 13th.
Yeah.
So you have 4 in the top 15 on your team.
Yeah, I sent Jason a little meme this week, an Alabama hammer and a Texas hammer. I told him the Alabama hammers are the kind of hammers you use to hang picture frames.
Guys, all right, so let's talk about the season, man. Look, it wasn't without troubles, trials, and tribulations, man. But, I mean, to be honest with you, for you guys to go with what you went through and still come out on top, and you're 1 win away from going to the championship game, my hat's off to you, man, because straight up, any other team, I think, would have absolutely collapsed themselves.
Well, it was kind of interesting to watch the first two teams you interviewed, Greg, because you talked about the Motor City Ambassadors being nice, right?
Yeah,
We're
they
not.
were.
All right. We're in it.
You're bandits.
We're
You're
in
not
it.
supposed to be.
All right. This is not about hosting some team and feeding them dinner. No. We're in it to win it. All right. I remember the old Detroit Pistons.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That probably ought to be compared to the Detroit Pistons. All right. I hated them when I was a kid watching them. I was a Celtics guy. I hated
Malice in the Palace, right?
That's right. But we're probably the Detroit Pistons.
I love it. I love it, man. And you know what? You don't have to apologize for any of that. You know what I mean? Because I mean, look, the ultimate ultimate goal of the KFL is to win the gold, right? Win the money, win the gold.
That's right. In fact, in the second team you interviewed, I always forget their name.
Tar Heel Lunkers.
Tar Heel Lunkers, right? They talked about wanting to make the playoffs. Where our goal was never to make the playoffs. All right, our goal was undefeated, win the whole thing.
Yeah.
If we don't win the whole thing, we didn't make our goal. And Jason could attest to that. That is what we talked about the first night. Undefeated.
That's from day one.
From day one. Undefeated, home field advantage, and go win the playoffs.
100%. Jason, how's it feel, man? Again, you accomplished the first goal, okay? And first of all, you've lost a lot of weight, man. You've lost a ton of weight, man. You're skinny bitty. But congratulations on that. But you're undefeated, and you put the postage stamp on the last game, man. I mean, you've got playoffs coming through Texas, which is not easy, and then you're going to Chickamauga. But I don't want to look ahead to Chickamauga yet. You got the winner between Alabama and Tar Heel Lunkers coming home. You get to have a bye week, which is nice. But let's look ahead between Alabama or Tar Heel. Talk about that matchup. Coming to Texas.
Well, depending on who it is, I mean, either one's going to have a. We haven't really come to a decision on a lake yet. I told my guys, I said, "Hey, we got till Saturday, so y'all need to put our heads together and pick a lake." But depending on what lake it is, even if it's, I mean, it doesn't matter what lake it is. Even in Texas, I mean, man, it's going to a random lake in Texas is very hard to fish, and it's very hard to learn. I mean, heck, you know this in 2 or 3 days. I mean, most lakes here have a lot of grass. A lot of them have a lot of pads. Especially this time of year. I mean, summertime, it's 102 degrees outside. I mean, it's brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a definite challenge for us, and especially the visiting team. So, I mean, depending on what lake we decide on at the end of the week, the weekend, I mean, we still got to put in the work, and all of these guys are, I'm done for the year. I have to work on September 11th. I could not get off, and I tried, and I'm very sad about that. But I mean, that's, it is what it is. But, I have all the faith in my team, and I know that they're going to capitalize, and they're going to capitalize big. I mean, I really feel sorry for whoever it is. Not to boast, not to brag. Yeah. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I'm not being funny, I'm not being smart, but man, these 7 guys that are on this team, and they're awesome.
Hammers. Freaking hammers. Every one of them.
Every one of them. Every one of them. I mean, they're amazing.
So, Greg,
I've learned so much in the past 2 or 3 years from these guys, and it's, they're just, like I said, they can catch fish out of a mud puddle.
Yeah, no doubt. Jim, go ahead.
So last Saturday, Kyle Burns tells me that there's only 3 of them showed up from Arkansas. So we get on the water, and he says, "I'm hoping we don't embarrass ourselves." And I said, you need 180 inches. So he goes, 180 inches to win. I said, no, that's not to embarrass yourself.
They fell well short of that.
I didn't know there was only
But
three.
I didn't either.
Estimate, right? You need
Yeah. I mean, you guys put up 196 points, I think.
194.
194. I mean, that was.
Think about this. In an afternoon game, 12 to 7, worst time of the day.
Yep.
By the way, who scheduled an afternoon game in August in Texas? And in Florida. Who
Blame the computer. The computer sucks, man. The computer sucks.
It was the computer that sucks. Okay.
I had no part of it. I swear.
That was brutal, man.
Yeah, it's brutal. Jim, I have it. Okay, so let's assume, I don't want to look ahead, but we're going to look ahead. Okay, we're going to go to Chickamauga. I know you are. Let's talk about Chickamauga, man. I know Jeff has been there and maybe Brian, but has anybody else been there? And then talk about the way you guys fish down in Texas. Is that going to hold up at Chickamauga?
So let me tell you. So I fished a national championship, KBF, on Gunnersville. Been there twice. I fished Eufaula, right? They're Tennessee River Lakes.
Yep.
I actually lived in Knoxville for 3.5 years, so I fished Bowden.
There you go.
And I will be on Chickamauga on Monday.
Oh, that's how confident you are.
All right.
You hear that, boys? Jim's picking out his camp spot, and he's picking out his fishing spots already.
You do not win by sitting your butt.
That's true.
All right.
That's true.
If Alabama or the Weber comes over here and beats us, so be it.
Yeah.
But if we win, I told you, our goal was to win the whole thing.
Yep.
All right. Our goal is not to make the playoffs. Our goal is not to make it to the championship. Our goal is to win the championship. All right.
Well, you guys did the first goal, and I mean, you're well on your way to completing that goal. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I honestly think, I don't think there's any better lake in the country that we could have chose for the championship, to see both teams come from the north and south, and let's see what you guys can do on this great body of water. It's going to be fun.
And those lakes, the whole Tennessee River system is not an easy thing to fish.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I quite honestly, I suck in Alabama. All right.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy.
It is not easy. So it'll be interesting to see, who gets there. Number one, we may or may not get there. I'm hoping we will. I'm thinking we will.
Right.
And if we get there, how well we could figure it out.
Exactly. Well, the good news is we're not going to Real Foot. We're not going there.
Well, if you had it on Real Foot, I'd be telling Jason, let's just lose.
Let's throw the game, right? Let's throw the game.
Don't want to go do that to yourself.
No, but it's going to be fun. I mean, regardless, as I said, I mean, whatever happens, again, you got to make it there first, but it's going to be very tough for anybody to come to Texas and beat you guys. And, Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be very, very, very tough. But guys, I mean, you've had an amazing season fishing. I mean, God, I can't tell you. I mean, if I was to take the amount of points that you guys have made, you probably lead the league in points, I would say. I'll have to look at those numbers when we get broken down. But to have 4 of the 7 guys that you guys have in the top 15, that just goes to show you guys why you're undefeated. Incredible.
We have an incredible team. I mean, we don't have a weak link. You would just if one guy can't make it, okay, then who's the next guy?
Yeah.
That's
it. That's right.
And for me, it was a great experience. I did not know Jeff. I had fished against Jeff Isom and Howell before this. I got in KFL, but I actually fished against Isom and was with him, at the award ceremony. In fact, in the tournament I fished against him, I came in first and he came in third. But I never really met him. And so to get to meet, guys of that quality now, it's just been a really, really cool experience. Those are some great guys.
Great guys. Yeah. Brian and Jeff and Derek and yourself.
Absolutely.
I mean, Jared, again, quality guys, man. I mean,
Howell is a very interesting guy. You swear he's like the boy next door when you meet him, but you get him on the lake and he just wants to punish you.
He does. He does.
He is not your
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, there's no doubt. One thing I tell you what,
Okay.
I don't know if any team has the knowledge that you guys have. And I'm trying to think about all the teams in the KFL right now, but your knowledge on electronics, I think, is far more superior than any other team in the KFL. I hate to say, I mean, I'm not trying to diss individual accolades of guys that know their electronics, but like yourself and Derek Miller and Brian Howe, I mean, you guys and Jason yourself, you guys have figured this thing out.
Jason's got a problem with his neck nowadays from looking at his damn electronics like this all.
But I mean, it's
I
super
got away
impressive.
from the punching game just because of that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, you
And they
guys, I
taught
mean,
me. So, I mean,
well, Jason, let's talk about your style. And that when I first met you, man, you were kind of like a shallow guy, like you're talking about flipping guy, structure guy, but you've changed that. I mean, you've really changed the way you fished.
yeah, I agree with that. I really have. And I mean, I haven't flipped or punched or anything in probably a year. I mean,
Right.
when I worked a lot of overtime and I bought that Humminbird, and and it was worth it. It's paid for itself 3 times over. And I told myself, after learning from Jim and Derek both, I mean, they taught me so much. They're great teachers, they're great mentors, and I mean, I love them both dearly. They showed me a whole new world, and man, it's amazing. Not necessarily you don't find fish, but I mean, you find structure. You see other things on the bottom of the lake that nobody else sees, and you learn from that. And you go to all these different lakes, and you mark something, and you first cast, you catch a 22 or a 23, and I'm like, wow, that's awesome. I mean, before that wouldn't happen. So I mean, it's definitely a game changer.
Right. Well, both you guys individually have had great years. I mean, fantastic fishing years. I mean, Jim, you won the KBBT bracket. Jason, you won the KBBT bracket. You've also won live tournaments. I mean, you guys have absolutely done an amazing job this year, and you could cap it off, with a team victory. Bringing the KFL Cup home with you guys, and also carry that momentum. I mean, are you guys going to be fishing the KFL National Championship? I mean, I'm sorry, the KBF National Championship.
I told myself I'm qualified. I told myself I wasn't going to fish it if I didn't position myself to win it. And the problem is, quite honestly, between KBBT and KFL, it's really dominated my year.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not. I went to Bistineau. I don't know if you're familiar with Bistineau. It's on the east side of Shreveport. It is one of the lakes you could fish for.
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I went to there. I went to there the day that we played Louisiana, and put my boat in the water. And I was in my boat because I had gone to visit my mom, and my boat stuck on a sandbar, and I got upset and I just went home, went back to the camp, and I've been to Caddo one time this year. So I think if we were to have the misfortune and lose when we play here in Texas, I'll probably exclusively focus on that.
Yeah.
But if we have to go to the national KFL championship, it's not going to leave me a lot of time to really go try to learn Caddo.
Right.
KFL and KBBT are I love them, but they take a lot of time. If you're going to do it right, you're not just going to show up and fish. If you're going to do it right, you're going to scout. You're going to spend time ahead of time.
That's right.
And it takes a lot of time. And I have not had time. I've heard you say this in KBBT. Why are you fishing a live event? Right? You got a lot of money on the line in KBBT. Well, guess what? I didn't fish any live events.
And look what happened. I mean, very successful. It's hard to fish KBBT in live events. It really is.
Right.
We don't discourage it, but it's tough.
Well, if you really want, I tell people that when I'm retired now, but when I was working, I had a buddy of mine say, man, I like to be good at fishing. I said, you got to give up all those other hobbies. You just, if you want to do something, you got to do it. You want to do something well, you got to focus on it. Right.
There's no doubt.
And it's true even within fishing. Even within fishing, if you want to do well in KBBT or KFL, then you have to give up other fishing activities in order to do well in that.
Yes, sir. That's exactly it.
I want to fish in a national championship, but I don't want to go there and look like a dummy.
No, it makes sense. I mean, absolutely, it makes sense. I know, Jason, that your fishing season is about come to an end, man. But dude, both of you guys, congratulations on a great year, man. I mean, both individually and team events. Well, I mean, one heck of a year. It's a year to remember for both of you.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
For
Thank
sure.
you for putting it all on.
No problem, man. No, it's we've stubbed our toe here and there. I mean, we're not perfect by any means, but we try to have fun with it, man. And I'm a competitor, man. I like to compete and I like to put on competitions, and we'll see what happens.
Sir.
But I'm looking forward to it. Well, guys, if I don't see you anytime soon, we might see you at Chickamauga. And we'll see what happens, man. But we're gonna be looking forward to that. You guys are not fishing until September 11th. And then if you guys have the victory there, you will be at Chickamauga September 18th. So, boys, thank you guys for coming on tonight. Thank you for just telling your story about the season. Congratulations. And we're going to sign off here. Basically, this is KFL tonight. Last hour here, we've taken an hour to talk about some of these guys that are in the playoffs. We hope to have some more folks on here in another couple of days, the other three teams. And y'all be safe out there. And again, we're praying for our country, praying for our troops. Don't ever forget it.
Absolutely.
All right.